Hello guys, how you doing? All right, guys, you're welcome to this session. So let's probably wait for like 2 more minutes before we start. So we'll have other people join us. So I've shared my screen already if you're here, so you can see what we're going to cover in this program, and we'll try to cover up the major part of API documentation. So it looks like I started talking, so I need to wait for like 2 minutes. So let's do mic check with my teammates here. Tell me, can you hear me? Can you hear yourself?
Yes, I can hear you. I can
Okay,
hear
so
you.
yeah, so Prince, can you hear me? And can you hear yourself?
Loud and clear. I can. I can hear you. I can hear myself.
Okay, that's clear. All right, guys, so you're welcome. If you have any question, you drop it in the chat and we'll respond to that. So Prince, how many people do you have online now?
We have two right now.
Okay, wait for like 2 more minutes, then we'll start. Okay, so let's have a join us. So you have 1 more minute to start, then be arrive.
Okay, we have 10 now.
Okay, so guys, 1 more minute, then we will start. Okay. Alright, let's it. Okay, so guys, let's start. So first off, thank you guys for joining this session. We're also happy to have you here. Much grateful, and we've been waiting for a very long time to have this session, for real, because we've been working hard behind the scene as usual, to make sure we bring you good content. And this course will cover up a lot. So if you're a beginner in API documentation, joining this program will take you from zero to hero. So which means you're going to come with nothing and you're going to go with something. And also behind the scene, we've wrapped API documentation course, and we are going to have it up by next week. So by next week, come go to our documentation, you start studying, and have some assignments for you to do that also. So for today, let's talk about the program. So that is why I want to have this call today. So I have my teammates, I have Temitope, and I have Prince. So both of them are the co-leads of this program, and they've been doing a lot of work. So just give kudos to them because it's not easy at all. So we have what we're going to cover. So this is my own session. So after I'm done, Prince or Temitope would take up the next session. So what we have here is mastering REST API documentation for beginners. So we are more focused for this program for REST API. Yes, we have other kind of APIs, but we know the REST API is what most companies use. So that is where you're focused on. But the style you're going to use in the documentation can also cover for the other ones. So, but this is for REST APIs. So the course objective you see in our screen is develop the skill to write comprehensive, clear, and accurate REST API documentation, learn the essential components, so which is very, very important. You need to know the component and how to document them, and need to master some tools. We have different tools we use in documenting. So I'm not going to just cover up, kind of read everything because it's going to take a while. So I'll probably be kind of stuck on a high level. So first, you're going to learn and understand the scope of API documentation, who uses API documentation, the importance of API documentation, and define the key components of REST API documentation. Then we talk about structuring your documentation, how to organize your documentation so people can easily understand and have that flow. You understand? Flow, I mean, there is a way you will organize the documentation. A user would easily flow with that. For example, if you have like a product that has a section for registration, um, login, maybe user profile, delete account, and all that. So imagine starting that API documentation with the user profile, and at the end of the documentation, you are having the registration and the login. That is not the kind of flow we will teach you. The best flow is having the register. Yes, the first thing you do when you go to a platform is to register. If you don't want to register, if you've registered before, you will log in. So we are going to follow that flow. Then documenting the endpoints. So you need to know what an endpoint is and how to document the endpoints, and also describe the endpoints. So the API method, the get, the post, the put, the delete, and every other HTTP methods that are available will also tell you how to document it. So yeah, so the body parameters, we'll also make sure we cover the body parameters. It's very important for you to, explain those body parameters. You don't just drop it and developers who just get confused what this means. So we're going to teach you how to document it and make it better. Then documenting the responses. Responses are very, very important. If you go to most courses, you won't see that. But for me, I make sure I include it because it's very important. For example, you as a developer, you want to use a product API, and you don't have an idea of what the response looks like. It's confusing from the onset. So if you get something, a response, you might not know if actually you're getting the correct response. But when you go on the documentation, you have seen the responses there already. So, okay, this is the example response, and this is what I would likely get, like something similar to this. So if I get something outside this, which is wrong, because sometimes developers will put error code with 200. Yes, you're seeing 200, but the response you're getting is not the right response. So we're going to tell you why you should document responses in your API documentation. Then how to also structure that, document error codes and handling edge cases, documenting authentication authorization. So if you need someone to assess something before they would be able to use your API, you need to explain that. If not, people get confused. You understand? So, for example, I want to use, let's use this popular REST API docs, MovieDB. They have a section where they explain the authorization. So if I want to use MovieDB right now and they have authorization, but they didn't include it, I will get stuck. I won't be able to use MovieDB API, and I will leave it and go for something better, more like an alternative. So that's the reason why I need to have that explain. So people, even if you do have it, you need to know how to explain so it's easier for people to understand. So documenting rate limiting, you don't want people to use your API more than you have a number. I don't want you to call the API more than 10 times in a month, more than 5 times in a week because you're using so many resources in the back end. You need to explain that so that when they get those rate limiting errors, they would know. Pagination and sorting, you need to explain each field and parameter so that the users will know. Most docs don't have it, some do have it, but in this course, in this program, we're going to teach you about that. Then using examples and snippets. So this before we don't have platforms that probably cover this. You understand? But right now we have a lot of platforms. Like we have Postman. If you document the Postman automatically, you have different platforms, different languages, programming languages, examples already. If you use Postman, you would see JavaScript, you see Java, you see Kotlin. Even in JavaScript, you see Fetch, you see I think they have different libraries. So which before you have to do that yourself. But right now, the platform README has that I think Midlify also has that. So we need to tell you that, hey, this has this, and this is why you need to use the platforms that have this. So the best practices for writing API documentation, like I said earlier on, is not just I've documented it. How do you document it? Is it clear enough for the users to understand what it means, or they need to consult Google or consult community or consult somebody else just to understand this? So we need to tell you how to do that. Consistency. You need to have a style guide, that would guide your style of writing. How do you want to write your documentation? Do you want to start your sentence with capital letter? Do you just want to be writing anyhow? you know, so that consistency, that style will help users understand it more. Then the last is the tools for creating and maintaining API docs. So this is more or less a 2 months program. So we're going to cover API, we're going to cover Swagger, how to document with Swagger, how to document with Postman, and how to document with README. So, but we're going to give assignments in between. We're going to give, we have a capstone project and more. Then maintaining and versioning. So this is very, very important. Some documentation don't have it. So let's use InterSwitch. That's like the biggest fintech, or one of the biggest fintech startup in Africa. So over time, they've changed and they've improved and they've updated their product, their APIs. So, but you have some customers that still use the old APIs. You understand? Because of versioning, you don't want to lose those customers. You don't force customers, you let them easily transition. So that's why you need to version your API. We've updated this. We have a new version with the updated API docs and every other thing that is updated, but we still have the other old version. So for those that are still using this, you still have access to this. So when you're ready to move, we have the latest one. So let's say you're in version 5.0 and they're already in version 10.0. You're still using that 5.0. Nothing is disturbing you. Maybe you have some limitations because they've upgraded some stuff. So you can now easily upgrade when you want to and not being forced. So that's the major aim of this. So some don't have it, like I said. So but we make sure we want to include it, teach you how to do it and why you should do it. Then I have the capstone project being the final project, which is a lovely project. So it's empty here because you don't need to see that. So when you join, you get to see. So thank you so much. If you have questions, you drop it in the chat, then we'll answer your question. So at this junction, I think I will give it to Temitope to take it over. Thank you.
Hi, thank you. So thank you so much. So, based on the course, right, the API documentation course, now the class is going to go for 5,000 naira, and the money still goes back to the community. That's everyone, the mentees, people that are going to be part of the API documentation course. And we just want you to know we're not using this money for ourselves. It's going back to you, especially the active members. So now what we're going to do is that there's going to be giveaways and gifts for active members for each gift, for each week, sorry. And then we're going to have like gifts along the way. So it's very important for you to participate in all the sessions and activities of the community. Don't be a passive member. The capstone projects, each and every one of the lessons and the assignments, it's very important that you participate and you reach out to your mentors, you ask questions, and you're actually like really active because we're looking out for active members and there are lots of gifts for you to get. So remember, the API documentation class goes for 5,000 naira, and we're going to communicate the payment method subsequently. Thank you.
Yep. Thanks so much for that. So to cap up what Temitope have said, like you said, it's 5,000 naira and to go back to you. We are not taking any penny from it. So reason is we want you to be very serious with that when you know your money is involved. And each week we have some projects. So somebody that kind of come up with the best projects, you get something from that. So if you're not serious enough, you understand. So you have one person that will take. For example, let's say we give the best first week project. We're gonna give maybe 30,000. So the person has taken like 10 or 15 persons money just for one person. So imagine the other people are serious, you are going to get that money. So each project, you always get something from the money you paid till the capstone project. And those that are active and also those that be active on social media talking about what we do in the program, you also get something. And at the end of the day, everything goes back to you. So we are an open source program, open source community. So we're not going to take your money to do anything, but we just want to get that so so you're going to be serious and it goes back to you. All right, thank you for that. So let's have Prince come give us a session.
Hello, everyone. Good evening for those that are in Nigeria. So most of you might be confused when you see Ahil and you hear them refer to me as Prince. My name is Prince Onyanuna. Ahil is also my name as well. So for anyone there, let me just clear your doubts. So I'm here to give you the 7 golden rules we have, more like guidelines for this program, because we want maximum availability for this program and this cohort. Although you're going to make a commitment with your money, more or less like we're going to bring out these rules so that you know what you should and should not do during the course of this program. So the first on our list is you must come in this program with a growth mindset, right? You must have the particular mindset that, okay, I'm joining this program to finish as an API documentation technical writer. You shouldn't come in being skeptical. You should come in open-minded and ready to learn and give feedback to the to whatever whatever you don't know. You're open to ask and you're very open to learn as well. The second on our list is participation. Also goes with the mindset as well. You should avail yourself for our meetings because we're going to have mentor to mentee relationships during this cohort. So you're going to be available, you're going to have mentors available for you. So you should be able to avail yourself to them, contribute when it's time to, and commit a certain amount of time to this cohort. You get, yeah. Um, the third on our list is communication. There is a particular way you will have to communicate with your mentor and every other person that's at a high stake of the program, because that builds a stronger relationship with you. You cannot relate to them as though they do not matter, even if maybe you might be older in age, right? So you have to maintain a certain standard of communication, and not just with your mentors, but with the fellow mentees as well, right? You're trying to build relationships with people. So even at the end of the program, you have colleagues in the industry that you can collaborate with moving forward. Also, the fourth on the list, we have responsibility and ownership. Now, when you're going through a program like this, most times you tend to come out with an outcome that may not favor you, and then you turn around and say, "Oh, the program didn't give you the best it was." We have a very laid out plan for you, which goes with we have the course out, and we're going to have these sessions. So you should be responsible enough to pick up and learn for yourself, and that goes along with the growth mindset. You should not wait to be nudged by a mentor. Or have you done your assignment? Or have you um are you joining class today? You should be willing to be responsible to take up those tasks by yourself because it's for your growth, and also assist any of your colleagues who have questions, because it's a Discord community we have and there'll be questions out there. So you should be ready to, oh hey, I can help you with that. Oh hey, I can join you on a call with that. We can fix this together. That help build your relationship with other people as well, which will be very vital for you in your career. The next one we have is respect for diversity. We have different cultures and backgrounds coming in and joining this program. So we might have, take for example, Nigeria, for example, we have a lot of ethnic groups and a lot of languages. So you might have a mentor that's from the east and you're from the north. We might have people that are outside Nigeria as well. So we should be able to respect each and every other person, give them respect that's due to them as well. And it goes in two things. Now we have inclusion. You should be able to accept everybody, regardless of color, skin tone, culture, religion, whatever it is. For open source, so we're working with different people from all around the world. Yeah. Confidentiality and ethics. Now, this goes with being a technical writer first, because we're not going to allow you to take plagiarism, and the use of AI is actually going to be limited a bit, right? There's how you use AI as technical writer. Maybe your mentor might discuss with you when they are reviewing your work, but there should be a level of ethics when you're working or submitting assignments or going out projects, and there should be confidentiality between the information that is shared to you during the course of the program. Yeah. And I think the last we have is collaboration and peer support. I think in every single point we give, I try to buttress the importance of building these strong relationships. Because a good example is myself. Most of the roles and gigs I have, in fact, all of them is because of the relationships I have in this industry, and I'm very grateful for them. And so these are the kind of programs when you participate in them that you build yourself in your career. This is where you meet people. So they'll be like, oh, how did you meet this person? How did you get to this role? Oh, we participated in tech career mentorship a few years ago. Referrals come through job roles that way. So that way you're building yourself, you're getting new friends in the industry, and you're growing as well. And you get to help people. So don't worry about these rules. You don't have to have them off heart. When the program starts, we're going to make this available to you, and you're going to get to know more as we progress in the program. Yeah, and that's it. Thank you so much, and I can't wait to see you. Thank you. Over to my boss.
Yep. Yeah. Thank you so much, Prince. Thank you so much, Temitope, for that. So it's up to you guys. So if you have any question, so the floor is open for you right now. So Prince, mic check. Any question?
Yes, I we have a question. Temitope dropped one on the chat. I hope you can see it. Okay, I'll read it out loud. Can someone without prior knowledge of programming language like JavaScript and others be part of the program?
Well,
Okay.
uh, that's quite a difficult one because you actually need that. You need that basic programming knowledge when it comes to APIs. So it's very, very important. So I would say it's going to be a tricky one. It's going to be a tricky one. Yes, you can succeed very well. Yes, you can join. But I would say before, because we're going to start October. So I would say before then, it's advisable, it is recommended for you to have the basic knowledge of JavaScript. Very, very, very important before you can jump onto that. You can know what HTTP methods are. Just you can just know them by their name. That is a get, you get from database, post to database, update, modifies the information in database, which is anybody can probably know that. But for me, it is recommended for you to have that basic knowledge of programming, specifically for this JavaScript. So I would advise you have that knowledge. But even if you don't, like I said, you can still jump on it because with the example I gave, the word get to everybody means to retrieve something, you know, then post, want to send something like the post office. So you can probably excel, but going forward, you will probably have some roadblocks. So avoiding those roadblocks is you learn JavaScript, having those basics of JavaScript, understanding the basics of REST API before you come down to the documentation aspect of it. So that is all about advice. So any other
Okay, can
one?
I say something? Can I add something
Yep.
to that?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
All right, perfect. So that question was asked by Chisom. All right, so Chisom, the major prerequisite for this course is that you have to be a technical writer, because this is an API documentation course for technical writers. We may not go to the basics of technical writing. For that, we already have a course, but then you should be a technical writer. Now, one of the aspects or characteristics of being a technical writer is that you're good with research. And so learning the basics of REST and everything that has to do with APIs is going to be part of your priority. Like Sir Wisdom knows, Temitope knows, and I know, and any other technical writer knows that most times you're asked to document on stuff you have no idea about. But with research, you have to go learn more and do your job because that's your job. You feel me? So before the program, as boss advised, and we might do our part as a community as well. We might put up some courses, some few short crash courses on YouTube, just to get your hands dirty, know how the technicality of APIs work. Because if you don't know how APIs talk, you may not be able to talk about APIs. Do you understand? You get that? So just a brief crash course will do you good, and you're good to go. Thank you. And then we have
So,
another question.
so good evening,
Yeah.
everyone. Please, I would like to ask if the course is beginner friendly. Yes, it's beginner friendly. So I'm a technical writer and I want to learn how to write great documentation, but I'm really, yeah, so it's beginner friendly. If you're totally new, this is for you. Then even if you are an advanced technical writer, you still have something to learn because this course is structured in a way it's going to start from the beginner section and move down to the expert being the last part of it. So it's beginner friendly. So is it they said, how are you going to communicate where and when? So if you register on this, we're going to send an email across. So if you registered on this the program, this particular call, we have your emails already. So we would send an email across on how to go about with the payment and every other thing. So Gloria said, this strictly an API documentation cohort, not technical writing in general? Yes, this is for API documentation. So, but we have done the general technical writing now. The course is already available on our YouTube channel. You can go watch it. So, are there gigs? A lot of gigs. So maybe let me give Prince the opportunity to talk about the gigs. So, Prince, you have the mic.
First of all, this is a setup. Hi, Gloria. Well, first of all, that question you asked is very valid. The straight answer is yes. Over the course of 4, 5 months, I think I've worked on, I think, 3 or 4 APIs, API documentation projects, co with Sir Wisdom. So that's why he asked me to give this response. And they have been amazing. And my experience with this with paid gigs, right, got me a very large role with OpenMRS. So if you know about EMRs, then you understand what OpenMRS is about. It's a very large open source company. But that's just on the side. But yes, the plain answer is yes, they are gigs. They are gigs. So you have to learn it. It's important for you and your career. Yeah.
Yeah. So API does I wanted to say courses. Jobs are so many in the market. So let me just probably add more. Technical writing before was just more on just writing technical blogs and maybe the user guides and I think around those stuff. But right now it is way more than that. So you have the developer docs, you have the API docs, and you have the normal technical blog, the user guide and more just being done by one person. So most organization would want one person that knows all of this. So if you feel maybe yeah, I can write a technical blog, I don't need this, it's fine. If you're in the right doc Slack channel, I would just say if you're not, join. But if you are, just check 20 jobs from today, you would see none. Yeah, okay, let me not put it like 98% of them are developer docs and API docs, not just technical blocks. Now, the ones that are with technical blocks are attached with APIs and developer docs. So it's very, very important for you to learn this. It's very, very important. So when will the course be out and how much is it? So the course is free. Not going to pay anything. It's on our website, so you can go and learn it for free. But the program is also free. Okay, but you're just paying money as commitment, money that will make you be serious. And the money will be given back to you if you're serious, actually. So if you're not serious, the money will be given back to someone that is serious. So imagine one person winning the best mentee of the week, most active on social media, best project, best article, best API docs, then the final project. One person can win everything. So just be serious. And now the reason for being serious is not for myself, it's not for the co-leads, it's for your own self because you're here to learn. We just want to put a kind of a strict rule that would make you serious because we've learned from previous experiences. So that's why we want to make sure that we have a way to help you to be serious and active. So is there a provision to help us get gigs or probably how to go about getting? Yes, we're going to help you with that because that is why you're in this program. So we'll help you, equip you. Now, the most important thing is for you to be very good at what you're doing first before you talk about getting gigs. You need to be very, very good. You need to stand out. So we'll teach you how to stand out. Then we tell you about platforms to go and get gigs. So we're not going to give you gigs, but we'll tell you platforms to go and get gigs. So Prince and Temitope, if you want to add while I'm probably saying you are free to do that. So
No, that's fine.
Gloria
I'm good with that.
Gloria said okay, and so and you don't have to have been the one who wrote the code, but you can yes. You don't even need technical writers shouldn't write code. But a lot of things change. A lot of startups right now, they probably want somebody to probably be involved in a lot. But technically, a technical writer should just understand the code and document the code. That's all. So you're only understanding the APIs from the backend engineers, documenting it so that other developers can know how to use the APIs. That's all. You don't need to write the codes. It's none of your business. But it's your business to understand the code. So please, how can I register for the program? It's not out yet. So we're going to communicate across our social media platforms.
Mhm.
So must it be JS? It's not strictly JS. So if you know Python, like for me, I would say know any programming language that would help you to be technically sound to move on in this journey. That is the most important thing. Scared of
Yeah.
snakes. Oh, Python. All right.
They would
So
sleep there.
So do we have more questions so we can answer them? So the program for me would be very refreshing one. The program would help you achieve a lot because, like I said earlier on, technical writers before don't have so much to do with the API docs, and they are not found in these two technical parts. But right now, you see a technical writer in some organization building the documentation. So normally you should just come and manage the docs that is being built by the engineers. But we have SSGs, we call them statistical generators, that would make you easily build the documentation by picking few teams. Then we have like Docasaurus and some other ones like Hugo that will give you the room to customize, but that is being done by the engineer. So you can just quickly set up a documentation like Gitbook or README. You don't even need to be too technical to set it up. They have your API section where you can also document your APIs and more. So we'll cover up all of this. So joining this program will be, I'll call it the best end of the year gift. So if you don't join it, probably see you're losing out. So sorry, maybe this was not mentioned before and I wasn't here. How long is the program, please? 2 months. So we don't want it to be too long. So 2 months. Now the 2 months, it's not like every day. So we always love doing things during the weekend because some people go to work and do some other stuff, and you're not going to be having constant classes. You're going to have the videos available for you to watch. Then you reach back to your mentors when you have questions. If you want to jump on a call, you think you want clarifications, your mentors can jump and clear it for you. You submit assignment when it's due for you, then they would give you feedback on your assignment. And the assignment is not like the one we did. You're having everything on Google Docs and this. You're doing it directly on the platform you're being given to do that. So you're being so active now. When you're done with the program, you would have portfolios. So portfolios is what myself I use in getting most gigs that I get. For example, if I see any job on Write the Doc or any other platform or probably on Twitter or anywhere, I send my cover letter, and my cover letter is filled with different portfolios. You have my technical blog, you have API docs, you have developer docs. I also add user guides and also add some of my open source contributions. So with that, it makes me look very, very strong. And I did that some time ago, and the hiring manager reached out and said I should give him some time to go through that. He actually has seen a lot of it. So going through it, he got back and that this is so good that can we jump on the call? So we jumped on the call, and at the end of the day, I got it. Now I got opportunity to probably go through the list of applicants, and I saw that probably the only we have a lot of people from Europe, US, and others, but they had to pick a Nigerian man. Why? Because I did something different. So I'm not going to say all that here. So when you join, you get to hear more of that. So we have Divine. Please help drop links to crash courses and resource of programming basics on Discord channel to prepare us with little. Okay, all right. So Prince, you can take note of that. So you said
Sure.
drop some crash courses to help them prepare. Okay, so please, how much is the commitment fee? Yeah, 5,000. And thank you for the commitment fee because we are not going to take anything. It's, it's you committing something and the money is going back to you. So to clear the air again, you're paying 5,000 for the program. And or I'll probably say you're paying 5,000 to yourself, not actually for the program. Because at the end of the day, the program is not taking any money from that. So the money goes back to you in different means. So five, okay. Uh, all right. So let's give them like 3 more minutes. If we don't have more questions, we'll probably say good night. So I'm so much pumped and I'm ready for this program, and I hope you join and you get to learn a lot and you get to prepare yourself because lately I've been seeing a lot of gigs on LinkedIn. I've been seeing a lot of gigs on Twitter for API dogs, developer dogs, and more. You know, you rarely see the writing technical stuff, and which I feel. Now, just to put the icing on the cake, you know, you get to earn more than those that just basically write technical blogs. So freelance roles for just technical blogs alone, I think the highest lately because of how the market is. The highest you get paid like $350 to get about. Maybe that's the highest 350, let's say 500. But for API docs, you're earning a lot. So the minimum for you to be earning is like that's $2,000. But you only get to get such when you're very good at that. So one advice is don't come to this program to just go home with the certificate. Hey, I'm done with the program. I have my certificate. I won't advise you to pursue the certificate. Come here to learn, put your mind to learn, to be very good at what you're doing, to be better than the way you join the program. That should be your goal and not the end of the day, do everything I can. And don't try to cheat. You know, we might somehow, kind of get you when you cheat, but in some cases we might not get you. But at the end of the day, if you cheat, you're only doing yourself. So I will try to plead. Please come to this program with a clean mind. Okay, be honest, because we are trying to help people. And I've learned, and I don't want to keep that to myself. I want to share that. So you have the colleagues are trying to push out what they've learned to you. So please don't try to um, cheat the program. And at the end of the day, it's yourself and not. So we're going to help you. So wherever you are in the world, whatever time zone, we'll pick the best time that would suit everybody. And like I said, the courses will be online, be on our YouTube channel. So you get to watch it whenever you can. So, and time zone parts would have a connection with your mentor. So whenever you think you want to have a call with your mentor, you guys will probably come together and decide when and how you want to have the call with your mentor. Pick a stable time for everybody and you jump on a call. So try to be very serious and very glad. So we've already some other cohorts we have success stories, a lot of them, and we know this one won't be an exception. Okay, thank you so much, Susanna. So what exactly is the program? Okay, when? Well, we'll send a mail across, but it's October, so keep your mind for October. But we'll send a mail across. So if you didn't register for this call, so try to join what this called. Let me see if I would share that link.
While that is going on, for everyone that may be having little difficulties with raising up the money, if you're a technical writer, you should not have difficulties at this point. Know that we're having a 50K writing challenge going on. So if you know that your skills are bad as a technical writer, jump on the challenge and win your money so that you can register again and have the rest money for yourself. Okay. We can't wait to see you here.
So I've dropped the Discord channel. You can join the Discord channel and drop any questions you think you have about this program or about technical writing. So, so Prince, do you have what to tell them before we say good night from our time zone?
One thing I'm going to tell you is if you fully commit to this program and you actually join to learn, you're going to get the best out of it and you're not going to regret it if only you fully commit. Yeah, so I can't wait to see you. Yeah.
You- tell me.
All right. So one of the things I would say is that no matter what you're doing for this API documentation class, I would say dedicate time to it and put your all your effort and everything into the class. As Prince said, it's definitely going to be worth it. So put everything that you can into it. Thank you.
Guys, thank you for joining. So the call is recorded on YouTube already. So if you want to watch this to get the questions that we answered, you go back to watch that. And if you think we didn't cover some areas and maybe we didn't answer any question here, so join our Discord. If you're in Discord already, that's cool. Drop a question, tag me, tag Prince, tag the Temitope. We'll jump on it and answer your question. So we're so much happy to have you join this call, and we'll send a mail across when it's time for the program to start. Probably we'll send it ahead of time so you get prepared. And that's it. So thank you so much. Thank you everyone. Thank you, Prince. Thank you, Temitope, for joining, and good night. Good
Thank
morning,
you.
good afternoon, whatever time.
Bye, guys.